Hidden Strike, a movie that was supposed to come out in 2018, found a home on Netflix. It stayed in the top 10 viewership for movies for about 2 weeks, with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 24% by the critics and 57% by the audience. All right, let's just get this done.
Fair enough.
Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel,
My name's Adan.
where we give you a review at least once a week. Spoiler alert, Hidden Strike, a movie, like I said earlier, that was supposed to come out in 2018, but it was put onto the shelf for a very good reason, I have to say. So, starring Jackie Chan, John Cena, and Pilo Aspiak. There I go. I said it wrong. I bet you. He's from the Game of Thrones series. That's where I know him from.
I
This
knew
is
I recognized him
directed
for something.
right. She thought it was the guy from Kimberly, that is. She thought it was the guy from Dawson's Creek.
That leads into something I was going to say. It took me a few attempts to watch this movie, and the first few attempts, I thought it was I know exactly who you're talking about from Dawson's Creek, and then the last attempt I watched it, I'm like, yo, that's not the same guy. That
No,
was the that was the guy who he wasn't a pirate king.
but he was like a pirate. He was the one that took over the not the imp, but the
The
guy who got
Isles.
castrated.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
guy who
yeah.
got castrated and the sister, right? They were like you
He
they were
wanted to marry
family.
Cersei or something like
I,
that, if I remember correctly.
yeah, I think he was the uncle of the guy who got castrated. I
Probably.
think he was the uncle. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, you also have one guy, the guy with the half tattoo.
Yeah.
He's Tin Man. He's a famous or well known in the martial art community, movie martial art community, as a stunt leader.
I can see
And
that.
I was saddened that he was not utilized. His skills were not utilized as much
True.
because he's done work with Scott Atkins. Other guy, I think he did some stuff with Keanu Reeves, and but well, he did a lot of stuff with other martial arts.
It's possible. He had a lot of makeup on, so
Right,
they weren't focusing on the tattoo less side. They were focusing on the tattoo side a lot.
right. It is directed by Scott Whoa, Whoa, Wow, Waugh. I have no idea how to say that. And written by Arash Amel. And after watching it myself, I am with the low scoring here. This felt like a direct to DVD movie.
Oh,
Like it did not,
100%.
if this was meant to go out into the theaters, it would have bombed
I agree with that.
big time. This felt, I mean, you had trouble watching this. You had to watch this a couple times. I watched it not in one sitting, but it was spread out throughout the day. I had stuff to do. And it was a movie that did not hold my attention. I had trouble. I love Jackie Chan. I really like John Cena. He has really grown. Now,
Hmm.
he was awesome. And compare the two, he was awesome. He learned Mandarin for this.
It didn't seem like he
Like
was just saying
that
the lines. It felt like he was genuinely saying the lines. Like,
it felt like as if maybe this could have been a Rush Hour 4
there's definitely parallels.
background.
There's even points where he's like, "Are you speaking English?" And they're like saying stuff like that. It's like very similar jokes.
Yeah. I mean, and then the acting felt forced, especially for those who were Chinese and trying to speak English. It had that disconnect. Like I would like to have the daughter, Jackie Chan's character's daughter,
Hmm.
that she was more not American, but like English was not her second language. She was more culture. She was like traveling and doing stuff, right? Because I mean, I don't know what she was doing. Was she the Peace Corps? I think she was part of the Peace Corps. I don't remember.
Quick synopsis of the movies. It's set like in the world, and there's been like a new wars and like the new government powers. I didn't take away that America was one of the strongest government powers. Like they pretty much established like America is still a thing, but China is more of a dominant power. So if
Mhm.
we're gonna play like devil's advocate, you could argue that like Mandarin or can it would be a more dominant language, and they just don't care about the English as much. But at the same time, it's like a Rush Hour meets Mad Max.
With a Who Am I budget.
Yeah, not even Mad Max, Road Warrior. Rush Hour meets Warrior because Mad Max is before Road Warrior.
Say
Um,
that. Say that again. Say that again.
Road Mad Max is before Road Warrior,
But
and
isn't that the same world?
it's the
So
same world, but like one's more desolate and like has more biker gangs going for gas and oil, um, and water. Here, things just don't make sense.
there's a lot of things that don't make sense. How about this? For one, when Susie is coming towards John Cena's character, Susie, the truck that he
Yes,
recognizes, she just drives by casually by the bad guys. Do the bad guys blow it up? Maybe like to treat it as a threat, whatever. It just goes right by.
in that defense, though, Susie is unthreatening. I was surprised she caught up.
Well, yeah, especially with her, that girl's driving. But I'm just like, to me, as a, like, even Kim watched it with me. That part, she's like, they just let her drive by. I said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. Here's the bad guy, because the thing is, they're trying to do what they got to do, and here's a car coming to her that where they just set everything up, even though the guy broke the chip into the computer that they can't get out. But still, it was like, if I was a bad guy and he seemed like an a-hole, 100 through and through, like he'll kill anything just for pure fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
So why wouldn't he not do that?
I don't know. I mean, another thing that didn't make sense: the jet engine on the truck.
Oh yeah,
In
how the hell does that
in a
go
world
wrong?
where oil is such a scarce commodity that they're valuing it so much, and you're in a
Burn it.
community that's you're you need jet fuel to run that thing, and they run it just to run for hours, or like for I don't know hours. So I imagine to kick up a dust storm the way they did, that has to run more than just like 2 minutes. And they're like, oh, we need 100 grand to buy water. My guy, that you have 100 grand sitting in that tank. That's not
Right.
cheap
For me, I had to rewind that like 3 to 5 times
because you can't see
because,
nothing.
well, no, it's not that. It's like I don't understand it. Like, how's that jet thing kicked off? Like he hits the throttle thing to catch up to the convoy, and I'm like, huh? I still don't get it. I don't see where the connecting are, and the connecting hoses are like,
They were strong enough to hold John Cena when they were in full blast.
right. But so how somehow they, when they crashed, they disembarked, whatever, they dislodged.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's like those things are for the fuel to come into the jet. Still didn't make no sense to me. But it's like almost razor thin, like jump rope thick.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm
you'll think
not a
those,
rocket
you'll think,
scientist, but
neither am I, but you'll think the tubes to get all that fuel in here to help
you
propel
need
or start the.
more flow.
Yes, that's what I will think.
Yeah.
And also, I was thinking at the end, because at the end was almost like a notorious Jackie Chan finale, where it's a big chase or it's a big stunt. He did that with, I think, Mr. Nice Guy. I think other,
Mm-hmm.
like things that he did like
But then it turned out to be like a
three,
CGI kind of thing.
not necessarily so, but it was like a big stunt, not a martial arts stunt, but a big like car
Yeah.
or boat or something stunt. And he did that with this, with the jet engine. But I was thinking when that all happened, which again didn't make no sense. Like, I don't remember how he got that cable, where he got that cable from to wrap around his daughter and to hang off. I don't know where that came from. Is it because of the barriers he crashed through?
I really don't remember.
Yeah. See,
It was a
make no
blur.
sense. Yeah,
It was attached to the Jeep.
but how did I get that? Because the Jeep's in front, the cable was over the truck that I saw him grab.
I don't
And
remember. It
yeah,
was a blur
I
of
don't,
stuff.
right. And then I'm expecting John Cena to be on top because you would think that he will let go, but up there, because even though he's hanging, he can see that there's a cliff. He can see them going through that
Hmm.
barrier that they had. But then he falls with the jet and able to climb up, and then they're stuck.
It was also a little bit anticlimactic because, like, yeah, I know he's technically the big bad for both John Cena and Jackie Chan, but I felt like John Cena had a little bit more invested than this guy, than Jackie,
Right.
and there was
Correct. Because he killed his
no
brother.
exactly,
Right.
and there was no moment of true retribution or even a moment of conflict, and John Cena loses even. No, nothing of that nature. So I felt
Right.
like, okay, this guy's not gonna have like closure. Let's talk about the action.
What
So
action?
that's also another statement to be made. I can count probably on my hand the total of action scenes.
Granted, Jackie Chan, even though this came out in 2018, it was probably filmed also in 2016 or 2017. Then you have the post production and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's not as old as he is now. And
Hmm.
by the way, I did see a video of him that he can hardly walk in
He's
front of the
broken like every
audience.
bone in his body.
No, I know, but there's like a video I saw somewhere. I think I saw it on either Instagram or YouTube that he has a human crutch that he walks like he when he's walking. Yeah, yeah. It's before he goes on stage or whatever, like interviews, what have you,
Hmm.
Hong Kong, what have you. There's a guy that I guess he hired or his family, whatever, that he's holding on the shoulders and the back as he's walking. So he's like walking like this. That's my yeah. Here we go, leaning forward. And then as soon as he goes out onto the audience,
He straightens up.
here's Jackie Chan, everybody. He straightens up right as best as he can to walk towards the chair.
That's sad,
So
man.
that is very sad.
Yeah.
And there's a video of him and his daughter looking at his old stunts. If you notice that he's behind a fence, resting his arms in that position,
Yeah.
and he's crying because all the stuff
Like,
he's like,
like
I
he's
can't even stuff.
like I remember watching that video. I think his daughter started crying first, and he cried
Mhm.
in response. It's
Yeah.
like one of those things. Like he does all this stuff, and like, yeah, I did a lot of great things, but like the family sees only the hurt.
And the scene that are looking at is mainly from Project A,
Yeah,
from the clock tower
he
thing,
took
in
a
honor
lot of
of
injures.
in honor of Buster Keaton, because he
Hmm.
was a big fan of Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton, and that was an homage on that stunt from the clock tower down the breaking through the canopies. But anyway, to go back to this, the fight scenes, yes, they were okay. You could see there's a lot of wire work, obviously wire
Especially
work.
during the foam fight scene near the end.
Yes, and which again, that reminded me like the other like Mr. Nice Guy and Who Am I?
Hmm.
Good action films right there, but again, like low production, almost like made for to DVD.
They pretty much were. But
And
who I can't even talk today. Who am I? Definitely, remember as being a fantastic film in comparison.
mm,
Fight
well,
wise,
yeah, correct. Oh, fight scenes great, especially on the top of that building with the two guys.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, no, of course. But again, how much younger was he then
Oh yeah, yeah,
than
yeah.
he
No,
is
he
now?
can't do the same stuff. Like I'm more
Right.
forgiving for him doing like CGI stunts now because I understand.
Hmm.
But like there, you can do CGI stunts, but you can still make things look really good.
Correct. You should be able to sell it, especially if you have someone like Tin Man helping him, working with him. John Cena, who has a professional wrestler's background, who knows how to sell a hit.
Which
And
the fight scenes with John Cena weren't bad, in my
no, I mean
opinion.
they were really good. The one where he's towards the end, the grand finale, in the way that he's fighting all those guys and flipping them and slamming them,
Yep.
that was great. I thought that was awesome because you saw his wrestling background take over in that sense.
Hmm.
You have that Jackie Chan moment in that same thing where he's fighting and he's slipping under to avoid a hit, and then he's countering or going into another character or another guy to fight, stuff like that. It's good, but it was like again, we've seen that so many times of through the years of Jackie Chan films. Now, that's his
Style.
style, right? I understand that, but sometimes I would like to see other things, especially since he's so old and limited in
Mhm.
his movement.
Okay, so I think if they things that could be better, I could be wrong. But I think if they were not going to give John Cena the moment of like catharsis or whatever the term is to get the bad guy who killed his brother, how about he takes on Tin Men and then
That would have been a better scene.
that would have been
That
a
would have been a better scene.
really good scene, and then leave Jackie Chan doing the other part with his
The
daughter.
chasing, the chasing.
And I think that would have been really cool in that
Yes.
sense because then you got like one guy who's like strong but fast and agile because he is, and then you have John Cena being the strong guy and like quick witted, on it.
Well, yeah, it could have been like, in a sense, like John Cena could have been in the way of like Deadpool with the snarky comments while he's
Hmm.
getting his ass beat, and then he figures a way how to beat this guy who was pretty deadly with a firearm, but even more deadly without it.
Absolutely. Which it was
because
like you
this
saw it
this
for like a briefest of moments when he could have used his
of
firearm. Like I'm like, oh
yeah,
man, he had some talent. I didn't know about his him as an actor. I could tell watching that guy move.
right. He's not really much on the front of the camera. He's
Hmm.
more behind the scenes. If you look through his Instagram stuff, you see how well he moves and who else he has, what other projects he has worked on, and who he's worked with. The
Hmm.
guy is up there on that talent level. Now, do you have a favorite scene?
The end fight scene where you see John Cena and Jackie Chan fighting is actually pretty good. I do like when the camp gets invaded. So I thought that was really good. Overall, no. My favorite moments were just like if I chuckled, and I only chuckled with the cars. So
Yeah.
it's like
For, for me, my favorite moment were the bloopers.
the bloopers are always great. The bloopers are
Yeah,
always
that's to me,
funny. They're really
that's what
good.
made it a little more
Personal.
bearable for me in the
Yeah.
sense that I could see what happened, what they're doing, and then you see John Cena ad libbing,
Hmm.
just going improvising. The one with the Finder app was it?
Yes,
I thought
that
it
was
was
funny.
Find Her, right? And then he's talking about the girl and like how he would work it and like
Jackie just sitting there the whole like he's like supposed to pull it way before he just kept going.
right. And that scene too when he says that girl has a fat ass, I was like, or something like to nature, and I looked at her, I was like, she has no ass at all.
Yeah, he's in a village with a bunch of kids and like an old lady.
I
So,
guess so. I guess. Yeah. John Cena has really grown on me a lot through the years in the sense
hmm.
of his acting chops. His like he's a guy he'll take chances wherever he can. It may stick, it may fall, but he'll take those chances. That's why,
Yeah,
like, in the sense of you want to compare to, apples to apples in the sense of professional wrestlers turn actors, him and The Rock. The Rock is pretty much the same. He's been like that for years. In the
I would say
beginning,
early on he was taking chances for The Rock.
yeah,
Hmm.
no, he took chances with different roles of different types of movies. Now it's pretty much saying that like again, like when The Rock was signed a contract with Disney, so he had to do certain type of movies back
True.
to back, right? In the contract with Disney. But he played a gay guy, he played the Scorpion King, he played football player. Well, he was an actual football player, quarterback, and he was funny on that stuff. He also
Hmm.
played a mental. God, I can't remember the name of that movie, but he was like going crazy.
It was like
Uh,
Strange Days or something like that. It was the
but yes, he was
yeah.
like schizophrenic, something like that. Right. John Cena has been acting not as long, I would say, but long.
Hmm.
And you see him still taking chances. He'll do a kid movie, he'll do a comedy, he'll do an action film, he'll do another comedy. Like
I
he's
don't
done
think I've seen
the
him in like a
vacation.
drama kind of situation yet. But like he's been in
I,
a
I think he has. I just can't remember right
yeah.
now. But the thing is, he has range, and he
He's a
doesn't. He doesn't.
funny dude.
Oh
Like
no, he's
in his
hilarious.
performances. Yeah, he's
He does
very
not
funny.
mind being the bunt of the joke.
Hmm.
He does not mind that at all.
You know who would love this movie?
This
Dad.
movie.
Dad would love this movie.
Oh, my friend thought I was like, "Oh, dude, you gotta see it. It's so awesome." Right? I was like, "Really? Okay." I was like, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I was like, "I'm not in a rush, whatever." And then I see it, I'm like, "What is this guy smoking?" Because it's not over. I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it in a different manner. Like you
Hmm.
said, it's like Rush Hour and what was the other one?
Road Warrior.
Road Warrior combined together, and maybe something else there that we've seen. Oh, on the bloopers, did you notice some racism that happened there?
It was around the finder scene.
No, it was when Jackie and his team were introducing themselves to the professor.
Oh, I know. I missed that part.
Okay. Subtitles because they're speaking English.
Uh huh.
He goes, "Hello, professor," instead of "hello, professor." It said "hello." I was like, wait a minute, what? Rewound it back. Kim was there. She was like, what's that? Yeah, that's just racism. They just had some racism. And then they did it again because there's another cut. And it says,
Uh
"Hello, professor." I was like, wait a minute. Was that on purpose or was that accidental? Because they were speaking in Mandarin
huh.
or in Chinese. Could be wrong. Maybe it's not Mandarin. Maybe it was Cantonese or Szechuan. But the thing is, it said "hello." Herro.
The subtitle said that.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if that's on Jackie or the like just the subtitle crew in Netflix. Because you know
Right. But
that like Netflix like redubs and resubs their whatever they get.
right. But again, like I said, went back to that cut for another take on the blooper reel.
Uh
And then he says the same line, hello, professor, in Chinese, and it's correct. So I don't know.
it's pretty jacked up though.
Oh, I think so too. If it was a mistake, okay. If it was on purpose, but I mean, by now you would think that it was, since I seen it way before
Did
it
the
debuted.
pronunciation sound the same when they
I don't.
I
How am
don't
I supposed to
know.
know?
I mean, if it's a single phrase, like the tone could sound
But he's
different.
speaking really fast. I
I don't
can't
know. I
tell
was
you.
watching the movie at 1.5 speed. I should be honest about that too.
So it was a really good movie for you.
Funny enough, watching it at 1.5 speed, John Cena still sounds the same. And then,
Oh man, did he not look like the Terminator when he got thrown out of the truck? And
oh, it
oh, by the way,
barely grazed.
but still, he had a mark here. He had a mark on his cheek, on
Yeah,
his
yeah. He only
forehead.
had like 3 or 4 marks on his face.
Right, but he looked like the Terminator from like one of his many accidents in the first time, and you see him walking. But
That should have
okay,
killed him.
not only that, the jet rams into a trailer full of gas.
Full
Does
of
it
oil.
explode?
Full of oil.
But still, does it spill? Does it explode? No. With that fast speed,
The flame from the thing caused the other one to flip over, and then that
which
causes
makes
more
no sense either.
explosions. Yeah.
Right. But the impact, you would think the impact of the initial hitting that 18 wheel or whatever, you would think that would explode or spilled, like it
It
would have burst.
it would have
By that
actually
speed,
caved in the cab of the truck too.
yes. And also, okay, they're going fast, right?
They're going
But how
very
come
fast.
right? But they're acting as if they're getting hit with air. Well, even though the windows are closed and the windshields
Oh, that's a
are up.
G-force thing. That's
No, I
none of this is
understand.
like because that's like fighter pilots. They'll
Yeah,
put pressure on their face without
John Cena's actually leaning forward.
the air couldn't see him.
I guess.
I've been waiting all day for a John Cena joke.
Possibly. Also, so much CGI on here in a sense of outside, outer.
Yes.
You could see it. You could see the separation. It was, I mean, we. Here I go. Here goes my relation comparison to Star Wars, the prequels, especially episode 2 and 3, where it's mainly CGI, where it's nothing but like gray or blue screen or green screen in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to imagine what's around you. Here, you saw that as well, especially with like in the beginning where John Cena is meeting the convoy and his brother and all that stuff. That giving out the nicknames, it looked off. Yes, there were some outdoor shots, but you can tell there was a lot of indoor shots, especially in the
Yeah.
cars too, in the vehicles, because you have the bad guy, driving full speed with it, as escaping in a dune buggy, whatever, sand buggy, whatever the things are called, and there's like hardly any air or wind moving the hair.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's an open thing. It's an open thing. Like you would think his clothes will be rattling, with the wind, but no.
No, that's why I called out earlier, like the sandstorm scene, like when they were driving through with the buses and whatnot. So much CGI that it made me feel
Right.
displaced in those scenes, and it was also weird because, granted, I don't ride the bus that often, but I'm not used
Mm.
to a bus with windows the size I could walk through. Because like they'll pan to the front window and it'll look like it's just no wall there. And I understand they're supposed to be going through the window to view, but you're seeing all the dust kick back and forth. It looks like the sandstorms inside the bus because of that. You might
Right.
as
And
well
also like,
just have the view inside the bus and ignore the fact that it's outside.
and you had like during a sandstorm, their eyes wide open,
Absolutely. Oh,
the
I
mouth
will say
open.
this: the one girl in the bus that fought, she actually looked like she could fight pretty decent, and was
Right.
utilized once. Had a whole crew. Jackie had a whole
Yep.
team.
Yep.
He used 2 people.
Yeah. See, I don't even
Split
remember the fight in
second.
the bus scene. I remember some. I don't remember all
Mhm.
that much. Was John in it? Was John Cena part of that?
No, it was like one of the other people, but it was the she I couldn't tell who was who because of the mask, but she like fought them, she took the guns, and then they eventually I think she got kicked out through a window, and
Oh, she's the one that laid down, right? She's
yeah,
the one that
because she
laid
almost
down.
got ran over.
Right. Hey, yeah, eyes wide open too.
Yeah,
Even with the truck going under her, her eyes are wide open. I was like, cover your cover your nose and all that stuff. Is this worth the watch?
as much as I love Jackie Chan and John Cena, I would say if it never comes across your radar, you're good.
I would say for me, it's only worth the watch for John Cena, not even Jackie. And like I said, I am a huge
So
Jackie Chan fan.
our old measuring tape of reviews, you would have put this as one and done.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
I would have been okay if I didn't watch this. I would have been okay if we'd have to watch this to review this.
So it's not a waste of time.
No, it's not a waste of time.
Okay.
It's one and done.
Do you agree with that
Unfortunately,
50 something score?
Rotten Tomatoes again, the score is 24% by the critics, 57% by the audience. I am with the critics here.
Wow, that might be our lowest score, bro, that we've
Well,
done.
in the 20s. I mean, it's like I said, one and done. It's like I couldn't remember the scenes you were talking about.
Yeah,
The bus scenes. I had to be
honestly I
reminded.
tried to watch like 3 4 times. It was like I fell asleep multiple times and I lost track. I'm gonna be more lenient, but it is not high on my repertoire. I can see people enjoying this. I
Of
do see
course,
it.
yeah.
There's going to be a market of people that enjoy it. So if you guys want to watch it, talking to our audience, go ahead. I'm not going to say no to this one because there are going to be moments that you're going to enjoy. For me, it could have been better. Maybe I went in with higher expectations than I should have. Then
Well,
I
this is what
didn't.
I'm going to say. Don't waste your time. There's other great movies with Jackie Chan. There's other great
So
movies
many
with
good
John
ones.
Cena.
Yes.
So many other great movies. You don't need to see this one. If you want to, okay. There's a reason why this 2018 movie came out in 2023. It came out mainly because people knew it existed and then they put it out there. They don't want to bother with putting it in the theaters, much less put it on DVD. They probably did now because it's on Netflix,
It got views.
but you got some views. Yeah, I mean, granted, it was on the top 10. It was number one for a solid week or so, and it doesn't mean it was good. It
Just
was
means it
mean it
was
was viewed.
watched. Yeah.
Right, right. All right, guys, that is our movie review of Hidden Strike. Have you seen it? What parts did you like? If you have a movie or a TV show you would like us to review, please either leave a comment below in the description or you can email us. Email us?
I thought you said Elon Musk.
Or you can email us at tellthetwobros@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adan.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.